Hello guys, ModelRR3102 here, back in the layout. Just want to do a quick little layout update and just show you guys what's all new. For layout wise, nothing's new since the last update. Pretty much status quo on the layout and whatnot. However, I do have a couple new rolling stock and locomotives I purchased over the last 6 months. I'm going to just show 3 locomotives personally in the last few months that I either have bought and or received and whatnot. And these are just 3 I just randomly picked out and just wanted to show. So the 2 locomotives on the left I got back from Arthur Bradley in about September. The first one is the Athearn Genesis Union Pacific 1943 SD70 AH locomotive. This locomotive I bought originally DCC ready because otherwise the sound equipped model had a Tsunami 2 decoder, which otherwise I like to call it Unami, with EW, Unami. But I sent it to Arthur Bradley, had him install a Loksound version 4.0 decoder with TCS Keep Alive, of course. And the locomotive had LEDs installed by Athearn at the factory, but we agreed that the Athearn LEDs were pretty bad for the 1943s, so we just changed them out. Here's the new LEDs, front headlight and ditch lights. Very nice and bright, just how I love them to be. The LEDs on the locomotive on the right, the Athearn Genesis SD60E, I'll show you those factory LEDs a little later. And I'll tell you right now, the LEDs in the SD60E on the right are a little bit better than the 1943 one first out of the factory. So, and I asked Craig Walker at Athearn at the Train Fest show in November why the LEDs on the 1943 were really bad. He said that they did it on purpose. And I told him straight out, no modeler, especially me, wants an LED to be looking just as bad as an incandescent bulb. No, thank you. So we replaced the LEDs with new LEDs. Version 4.0 decoder has a custom horn and bell recording. The K5 LLA horn used for the 1943, I'd say, is one of the best, if not the best, K5 LLA horn recording out there you can find for use on an ESU version 4.0 decoder. So here's the bell. Here's the horn. Alright, so enough with the horn and bell. So that was pretty much it for the 1943. I didn't ask for custom weathering because Union Pacific keeps the 1943 pretty clean. They decided no weathering for the 1943. The locomotive in the middle, the Intermountain Norfolk Southern 8103 Heritage unit. Again, an Intermountain unit I bought about 5 years ago at Train Fest with Loksound Select and whatnot. I sent that to him to get custom weathering, new front headlights, front and rear headlights and ditch lights installed, because the ones from the factory weren't great. But I kept the number boards on because they looked actually halfway decent. So there's the number boards. I think the number boards are pretty halfway decent for an Intermountain model this old. Here's the headlight and here's the ditch lights. Again, headlights and ditch lights are new. He also did the same to the rear, of course. Here's the thing, when Intermountain first did the NS Heritage units 5-6 years ago, they did not have rear flashing ditch lights because of the motherboard and the select decoder combining to only have 6 lighting outputs. Since then, the Loksound select decoder can use up to 8 lighting functions. So for that reason, I decided I wanted him to make sure the rear ditch lights flash. And then he also added sugar cube speakers and replaced the old factory speakers. The sugar cube speakers are much better though in these units. And then TCS motherboard with Keep Alive. Here's the horn for the 8103. So that's the 8103. Unfortunately, at one of the shows that we were at this past fall, the handrail that connects to the cab on the conductor's side, right about here, came off. I think I hit like some tree on the portable layout, and I found it laying on a tree, and then as I was trying to handle it back to my vehicle, it snapped. So unfortunately, I'll have to get a new one of those cab end handrails to attach on. If someone wants to part ways with some of their Intermountain ES44 AC handrails, you can send them my way, and if you need to, I can pay a little bit for them, but otherwise I'll just have to suffer without that end handrail for a little bit, unfortunately. But and then the locomotive in the back, Athearn Genesis SD60E, Norfolk Southern, number 6952. That unit is equipped with a Loksound select decoder installed by Mr. Tim Swenton of Main Model Works. They happened to get this locomotive for Christmas as a gift. Beautifully looking locomotive, and it runs very well with the select decoder. Unfortunately, after I opened it up for the first time on Christmas Eve, because that was when I opened it, the gift, the locomotive's speaker, which is a round, I think 28mm speaker from ESU, went bad on me in about 15 minutes of running the locomotive. So me and Tim, we talked about it on Facebook Messenger about what to do. I elected to send the locomotive back to get it, the speaker repaired, so then he could have this bad speaker himself and send it back to ESU. So he sent it back not too long after I sent it to him, and I received it back, got it back not too long ago. I don't remember when though, but I received it not too long ago, maybe a couple weeks, and it sounds very good with the new speaker. So here's F0, the headlight, and these are the factory LEDs on the NS6952. And all I did was just put a Loksound Select 21-pin decoder on the new 21-pin motherboard that Athearn uses, that ESU helped them design. Number board's F5, ditch lights F6. And I happened to compare this locomotive's LED lighting to the lighting of the NS Admiral Cab SD40-2 from Scale Trains not too long ago in person. And I feel like that the Athearn LEDs on this SD60E are just a little bit better than the ones on the Scale Trains SD40-2 locomotive. Not by a whole lot, but I definitely think Athearn's LEDs are better than the ones from Scale Trains, at least comparing those two locomotives. Which I think is a huge step for Athearn, since, as we all know, Athearn has been using incandescent bulbs pretty much their entire life, or the entire company history. And right around 2 years ago, Athearn decided to start switching to LEDs, and they're starting to use LEDs on pretty much every single locomotive announcement as of, I think, the fall of 2017. And, you know, it's funny, I actually happened to pre-order one of the last ever locomotives that got incandescent bulbs from Athearn, and those came out at the end of September, and it's a GP38-2. But here's the horn. So that is the SD60E there. I will say I was very happy with the customer service of Made Model Works itself. And if you haven't checked them out, I would highly suggest doing so. Tim and crew, very great people to work with, especially when it came to this Athearn SD60E. Very appreciated with his work and whatnot. Couple things I did get not too long ago, this AccuTrack speedometer. I've been looking into potentially doing some speed matching to my locomotive fleet this year, and I decided to pick this one up. Problem is, my track on my layout is nowhere near flat, so obviously when it's going uphill, it's going to be a little bit slower speed than it is going downhill. However, I might try to work something out to make sure my speed matching is done somehow, some way. But we'll see about that. Anyways, I bought this for $65. Pretty good. A Club Portable Layout has this, but it's an older model and it doesn't work as well, especially at slow speeds. Another thing, or things I got, these brand new Scale Trains, River Counter, crude oil tank cars. I got 6 of the STAX lettered cars, and then I got 6 of the CBTX cars. These are just 2 of the 4 I haven't opened up yet, and I pre-ordered again about a dozen of these. 6 of the STAX, 6 of the CBTX, and these 12 are going to be heading with me to Stevens Point this weekend for the Arctic Run train show. I'll be running my crude oil train with pretty much all my Scale Trains crude oil cars. All those cars, those 4 still have to get upgraded with Kadee couplers and correct mounted coupler heights, along with the safety stripes that I'm installing. And something, and I'm just about to go into this, I have been recently getting the Smokebox Graphics FRA 224 yellow reflective stripes. Otherwise, reflectors, tape, safety stripes, whatever you want to call them. I've ordered now, I think, 6 of these, and I've gone through about 3 of them. All of them I've purchased so far that I've gone through, I have not used much of the big rectangular ones right here. But like these small little ones up here and the long narrow ones, those I pretty much have used up entirely on the first 3. And they say one of these can go through about 40 cars. I say that number is pretty accurate. Plus or minus 5 right there, depending on what cars you put them on and whatnot. I think the first one I went through about 37 cars, and that's a little bit of a combination of all 3. But these products work very well. I've used them on almost as many freight cars I could as possible that have them in real life. So here's some of the freight cars I have put them on. This Wisconsin Central gondola, the ADM hopper in the back, along with the KCS one, this DME hopper, BNSF coal car, WPSX coal car, NS sand hopper, and then even in the back, this Southern Cross Time Models wood chip hopper, and the Bethlehem steel car in the back behind my engines. Those all have the smoke box graphics stuff. And if you are very serious about modern railroading, like 2005 to present, which is pretty much what I am mainly, except I'm more 2010 to present, these FRA safety stripes from Smokebox Graphics, I'd say, is a must. I put these on over 120 freight cars now. These products work extremely well, and I may have gone through 4 of them now. Now I think about it, and I still have 2 more to use up. That's how these how good these are. If you weather your freight cars, you may want to put them on afterwards, but who knows how many freight cars I'm going to get weathered in my lifetime. So if they get weathered, they get weathered. If they don't, they don't. It's not going to make or break my heart. But I would definitely say majority of my freight car fleet now has these Smokebox Graphics reflectors tape on. So anyways, that's it. Again, I have a train show in Stevens Point, Wisconsin this weekend, the Arctic Run. And tomorrow I should be expecting a brand new locomotive coming in, and I'm going to be doing a full-blown review on it. It's going to be the brand new, announced and released Scale Trains Norfolk Southern C44-9W in the River Counter line. And it's going to have ESU Loksound version 5.0, which is the latest and greatest ESU decoder out there now these days. And I'm going to be doing a full-blown review on it. And I'm hoping this -9 is the real deal that Scale Trains and everyone else is hyping up about. So anyways, that's it. Hope you all have a good night or a good day, depending on when you see this video. Before you leave this video, please like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And spread the words to your friends who haven't liked and subscribed to my channel. Be really appreciated. Thanks again. Happy modeling, and we'll see you all next time.